Well, hello YouTube. Here we are. Have ourselves a start to another day. After the last few days we had, today is a beautiful day. And well, I guess we'll make the best of it. And yeah, welcome to our vlog. So, here we go. Well, we had about 8 inches of snowfall altogether. I know the back driveway doesn't really give you an accurate representation because it's been driven on, but that's a lot of snow. Probably almost or more than we had all winter dumped at once. And it was that nasty wet heavy snow that is next to impossible to shovel, that tears up front wheel drive cars and well, causes slick conditions on the roadway. So things work out the way they're supposed to work out. Sometimes road trip plans don't happen, and well, there's a reason why they didn't. And well, I would have been probably right in the middle of that snowstorm on my road trip, and it wouldn't have been a good thing. But hey, that's winter driving conditions. When you live in Saskatchewan, when you live in Canada, you gotta expect these kind of things. Well, y'all know it's been a subject of vlogs for the last 3-4 weeks now. I had the old Silverado listed for sale, and I had several tire kickers, you know, armchair car dealers, if you want to call them that, you know. I'll give you $1,500 for it, or want to sell the motor, you know, want to sell the box off it, or hey, I want to do a Cummins swap in it, and blah 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 blah. Well, sure, you know, whatever, but before you make your ridiculous offer, you know, come on down and have a look at it. Because yeah, you know, sure, it's an older truck, it has a bit of age behind it, but at the same time, you're not going to find another one like it. And I know I've said that repeatedly in other vlogs, because, well, it's true. It's very true. And, well, I had a few people come and look at it over the last few days. And one guy was like a little kid. He hopped in it and adjusted the steering wheel, moved the seat back and forth, played with the signal lights, you know, turned the stereo on. You know, played with the visors, all that stuff little kids would do. And then he goes, oh, well, it's Friday, so all the banks are closed. Because, well, it is, because it was a holiday Friday. And I said, well, your bank should be open Saturday, because most banks are, or all banks are in this town, open Saturdays. Somewhat shortened hours. And he goes, oh, no, it's, you know, it'll be Tuesday or so before. So pretty much, you know, within the first 5 minutes of talking to him, I knew he was a tire kicker. But you have to give it to him. But at least he got off the computer chair before making the crazy, ridiculous lowball offer. Which, if he would have had cash on hand, I probably wouldn't have walked away. Well, he went away because apparently his bank doesn't open Saturdays, even though every other bank in this town does. So, he missed out. Well, the next guy along didn't appreciate the truck for what it was. You could tell that he came for money at one time but lost everything. And he was driving a little bomber car and didn't appreciate it for what it was. And then, because he nitpicked it and all this stuff, well, it doesn't have power windows, doesn't have, you know, leather seats, or you know, how come it's manual controls and stuff? Well, dude, nitpicking my vehicle, especially one that I don't really have to sell, is really not going to get the price down low at all. If anything, it's going to make it want to go up. Because right there, I can tell that you don't appreciate the truck for the truck. You don't appreciate it for what it is. You just need a vehicle because your Super Duty diesel Cummins or, you know, whatever got repossessed because you failed to make the payments on it. And then he kind of, you know, wandered on off. His crew to come have a look at it was a younger kid, about 22, and his older brother, which was about 25. And, well, they came, took it for a test drive, and, well, there it is not. I never ever thought when I bought that truck in March of 2013 that it would have ended up this way this soon. I thought for sure I would have had that truck for a few years. Well, a few years longer. Probably pushed it so it was 250,000 K instead of only 150,000, and waited till the truck started giving me trouble before I got rid of it. I never ever thought that it would be gone so soon. According to my paperwork, I only put about 8,000 kilometers on that truck. And I put about close to $4,000 into it over the 4 years that I had it. Some of that was repair, some of that was tires, you know, regular maintenance, which you really can't count on, or count as expense. You know, there was ball joints and tie rods and control arms and a tune-up. But tune-ups are regular maintenance, and Chevys with 150,000 K control arms and ball joints are needing to be looked at anyways, so really, I believe I did okay. They came along and, you know, they wanted to get a deal, so they did offer me a touch lower than asking price, so I nudged it back up another $100, and, well, away he goes. So he's now a proud owner of a 2003 Silverado. There's a little bit of a bittersweet feeling there because, well, it was, you know, kind of my dad's and it was our truck, and I promised Dad one last ride in it here this spring in about another couple of months. And unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to hold true to that promise. However, that being said, I'm sure he would have supported me 110% in selling it due to the reason basically I can't drive it anymore because of the, well, injury. And I'm pretty sure he would be really tickled in the canyon what I've done to it, what I've done with it, what I'm doing to it, and I think he'd almost want to ride in it more than the old Silverado. So of course, time will tell. We will cross that bridge when we get there. It's sure been a year of change when you go back and think. It was about this time last year that things started to change. Last year that things became uncertain. Things became in a bit of a turmoil with everything, and then it capped it all off in the fall. And then come summer, when everything was full swing, I made the choice to give up the 2015 Canyon, and then come the fall, it capped it off with a great big shift in the family, and well, then we're into winter. So, well, interesting to see what the rest of the summer brings, what the rest of the year brings. Hopefully all good things, steps forward and steps for the better, and around we go. But, gonna go in, do a few things. Pack the road bag for the big road trip. Hopefully everything goes well. I know it should. And yeah, around we go. Well, it sure looks different over there, doesn't it? It's weird how you get used to something being there, and all of a sudden when it's gone, it's like, it's gone. But yeah, that's the way she goes, right? You know, that truck was a part of my life for a lot of years, and then all of a sudden, well, essentially all of a sudden, if you want to say, you come to the realization that it's got to go. You know, again, nothing to do with the truck, just the way she is, you know. Well, try not to think about the big day coming up here tomorrow. I've got to drive to the city and go through their, jumping through their hoops. And if I jump through their hoops just so, then they'll reward me with a nice painful surgery. And hopefully less than 6 weeks of recovery, and then I'm back at it. You know, trying not to think about it, because my mind works kind of weird. I'm playing out possible scenarios in my head of ways it could turn out, ways it could go. And, you know, one of them, of course, is cutting the old hand off with a hatchet and installing some kind of weird metal hook kind of a deal. And another one is another 2-3 years of rigmarole, physio, painfulness, and still not being any better than what I was 5 years earlier, except without a broken bone. But you never know, right? The plate coming out could possibly be the answer, hopefully, and then we can pursue the next round. I'm hoping I respond well to their physio program, respond well to everything, and we're back on our feet, per se, by, well, you know, mid to late May. You know, it's kind of one of those things, right? You never know how it's going to unfold until it unfolds. And there's only so much you can do yourself, you know, to influence the situation, because, well, there's your natural body's ability to heal. There's the surgeon's ability to do his job. You know, there's the, well, healthcare professionals that are involved as well as all the other many people that seem to be behind the scenes of all this ordeal, pulling the strings, saying what can and cannot be done. So as long as everything falls into place and I don't push myself after the surgery, you know, I allow the time to heal and stuff like that, then it should work out okay. Given the way the summer is shaping up, the fall is going to be a busy fall. You never know how the fall is going to shape out to be. If it works the way I want it to, there could be another project this fall. If it doesn't, then there'll be just a little bit of a mini project to prepare for the tradesmen to come and to do what I want them to do. And then next summer or so, we'll continue it on. Well, as for the potential project that's coming, it is still coming. I don't know if I'm going to be able to drive down and pick it up here, you know, 2 or 3 days after surgery, or if I should wait for the following week. Unfortunately, the way my schedule goes, May gets pretty busy for me, and then into June gets busy as well with family functions, events, and all that good stuff. And then, of course, we're into the demo derbies and that, and there's a family reunion sometime in between there. And it's all got to come together just so to make a trip that far to pick up the said, you know, project in question. Given by the end of next week, it should be done, ready for pickup, but I may or may not feel like traveling. Depends on how well I bounce back from the surgery. If the surgery's okay and they're able just to do a light, whatever you want to call it, then it might be a day or two, and you know, I won't get hit hard with the anesthetic. But if the doctor chooses to put me under like they did last time and to do what they need to do, then it could be a week or so before I actually come back around to my normal self. This time around, I've gotten smart. I wrote down all my passwords for, you know, my accounts, my emails, social medias, YouTubes, all that, so I won't forget them this time and have to reset them all. Everything is backed up, everything is good to go. Videos are all ahead of time, already pre-edited for a good 2 to 3 weeks, so, you know, unfortunately, by the time you guys see this here vlog, I will have been through the surgery, been through the best part of the recovery, and probably starting the next doctor's follow-up visit, maybe even start their physio program. So you know, a good 2 to 3 weeks ahead on videos all the way around. I did push it pretty hard over the last month because, well, I wanted to make sure that you guys had content, that things were done around here with projects and stuff. I would have liked to have got the yard work done, so while I was recovering, you know, the lawn could have greened up and stuff, but unfortunately we got the snow, which kind of cut everything short by about 5 days, and well, messed everything up. So of course, like I said, trying not to think of possible scenarios or outcomes, how everything may or may not turn out. Gonna score me some supper, get on with the old evening, fire up the YouTubes, see what's going on, and around we roll. So yeah, you guessed her. We'll probably see y'all this evening. Little bit of an end to another day. Well, it was a good day. It was a little bit of a busy day, sort of. Still, obviously going for surgery. Well, still planning to go on the big road trip. Planning on doing, well, hopefully, what they say, and everything goes well. As long as they're happy with what they see, and then we're good to go. I can't understand why they wouldn't, but hey, you never know. Doctor wants an extra round of golf in or something, so they'll cancel this one and then move it another month ahead. But maybe because the weather is crappy, he won't want to golf, so well, then we'll be good to go. But pretty much, guys, of course today was a good day. Spent it kind of indoors doing a few things. Little bit of shopping, little bit of preparation for the next few days. Probably aren't gonna be filming anything in the next 3 or 4 days. Then after the surgery, there may be another 3 or 4 days where I don't really want to touch a camera either, so there could be a dead spot for vlogs. However, because I am ahead, like I mentioned earlier, there really won't be an interruption in the vlogs. There'll be just a little bit of a gap, per se, in the timeline where the vlogs should be, or you know, for continuation. But when you're dealing with something like this, a little bit of a gap due to surgery, I suppose, is understandable. You know, it's not like I took it off because I went on a 4-day bender or something and had to sober up in the drunk tank first before they'll let me have my you know, camera back, right? So of course, providing everything goes well, next time you see me or so, I will be either in a surgery cast or ranting at how incompetent our healthcare system is that they put it off for another month. So depends on how that goes. But pretty much I have a feeling I have myself a sleepless night ahead of me, plus a road trip to the city, and all that good stuff that follows from here. Remember, guys, we do have a post office box for all your fan mail needs. Send me letters, send me decals, send me all sorts of good stuff. If you would like a decal and you want to help out with the cause, you're more than welcome to send me $1 or $2 for the cost of the decal. If not, hey, you know, I will send you one. Send me a clear written envelope with your address on it so I can properly send you one back, because, well, obviously without a postal code or zip code or so, or a properly written address, it's not going to go too far, right? And unfortunately, our postal system doesn't really try to deliver undeliverable letters or return them to the sender. They just disappear into the great pile that is their lost letter department. I've had some mail that I've sent out to people and it never gets there. Just plain disappears. It just vaporizes. I sent, I don't know, I think there was 24 or 25 letters out here a couple months back. And out of those 24 or 25 letters, there was maybe 15 that actually were confirmed to have reached the target or the recipient, even though the addresses were correct and everything was correct, confirmed on them. They still didn't make it, so I have no idea if it was the whole Canada to US thing, you know, mailing them across the border like that didn't go too well. You know, they're lining somebody's birdcage, or what? The post office knew where they were going. The post office dictated the amount owing, or amount for shipping, or stamp. The stamps went on them, and well, away they were supposed to have gone. So somewhere there's some lost letters that may or may not eventually reach their destination, you know, whenever they get moving again. But gonna end her all here. I got, well, a few days going here. Don't exactly know how it's gonna go, but hopefully it works on out. Hopefully this is the beginning to the end of the 4 years of nonsense that's been going on. Get this took care of, get this solved, and I can get on with my life, because my life has been on hold long enough because of certain people in my life that dictated choices for me that I did not have a choice in making. It just benefited them far quicker, or before it benefited me. But, and they're all here, and around we go. We'll see you in a few days. And, well, we'll never know. And as always, thanks for watching Maxwell's vlog. Comment, subscribe, and enjoy.